1, which completed in 2019, and phase 2, which has now been extended to all the tributaries of the Ganga River, and another phase in which all the rivers of the country are now covered. So what I'm going to present is our efforts of during COVID-19, which were not a built-in part of the project, but which emerged out of our project initiatives. So basically, if we see that Ganga, of course, is the river of very important to the country from all aspects, and it is the source of livelihood for millions of people. And the project that was given to the Wildlife Institute of India, and in fact, this was the first in the Ganga conservation initiatives, that the whole concept of community participation or Jan Bhagidari was supposed to be an integral part, that whatever conservation activities we are doing, we should be doing it by involving various stakeholders, particularly the poor people who live along the Ganga and depend on it for their day-to-day requirement. So we established a trained and motivated cadre of volunteers known as Ganga Praharis or Guardians of the Ganga. And this is, of course, the web page from there. So who are now at the forefront of all efforts of conservation and cleanliness of the Ganga River, and have also become social leaders. So the challenges when the COVID lockdown came, there were huge challenges which we faced, because we had a huge project going on all along the Ganga River and in the Ganga Basin. And suddenly there was no way we could travel, no way we could contact our people. Our scientific studies came to a halt, and most of the areas are remote areas. Then our Ganga Praharis, which whatever independent initiatives that they were doing, that also stopped. And many of the people in this region lost their jobs or regular sources of income. For us to approach our people and conduct our activities through the digital media was very challenging, because people are not very savvy with these technologies. Some people may not be having the required gadgets with them. And so these were the challenges which we faced at the beginning. But when we realized, when we started talking to our people, after a brief 4 or 5 days of shock, when we realized that nothing is moving, we started getting in touch with our people on the field, and we devised our strategy. And the strategy because we realized that the need of the hour was to use our Ganga Praharis as social leaders, because they were present in areas where nobody could reach at that time. And we were not sure how much government aid was reaching those areas. And when these people started getting back to us that they are trying to help people in their villages, in their localities, we devised our own strategy to enable them to start working with them. The first of which was extensive training programs for these people in the use of digital platforms. A lot of online training were conducted, online meetings were and discussions were held, strategies for different areas were defined, linkages with different agencies, district administration, panchayats, different organizations, the Ganga Task Force, the NSS, NCC cadets were established, and field activities were initiated with technical support from the WII, lot of appreciation and motivation from different fields, and financial support. There are different offshoots of the Ganga Prahari program, the one of which is Ganga Prahari Mentors. So anybody, any citizen of the country can become a part of this project and give their support to Ganga conservation and cleanliness by becoming a Ganga Prahari mentor. So we motivated our mentors to provide some financial support, and we were able to carry out our activities. We initiated by the launching of the COVID awareness campaign in 3 languages, English, Hindi, and Bangla. These were prepared and shared with our Ganga Praharis, and they started working in their own areas, wherever it was possible for them also to use digital platforms, they were using. But in their case, because they were in the villages, they were doing a lot of work on the ground level. So we were able to raise some money with which we could start distributing the food packets much before the government aid actually started coming in. Our women Ganga Prahari started stitching masks and distributing them to the people, then working with the children to teach them the importance of washing hands regularly, and developing disinfectants within the village, using all sorts of material which was available with them, and then sanitizing the village lanes, Some of our Ganga Praharis who are PhD scholars working in labs developed their hand sanitizers with the WHO guidelines, and this was also distributed to the people. Some of the people, Ganga Praharis, this is in Bhagalpur, where they are holding yoga camps because they realized that most of the people were also facing mental health issues. So a lot of activities at the ground level where we could not reach were happening with the help of these social leaders, our guardians of the Ganga. And very important, most of you must have read online that a lot of wildlife is coming out because of the lockdown. Elephants are roaming in streets, and all sorts of things were coming in the news, which was definitely happening. But at the same time, there is also a lot of wildlife which is in the Ganga River. It is not only important culturally, socially, and economically, but it is a very, very rich ecosystem which hosts a lot of species of rare endangered category, including our national aquatic animal, the Gangetic river dolphin, the gharial, which is found in the entire world, which is found only in the Ganga River basin, and the magar, and several species of fish, birds, amphibians, reptiles, etc. Here also our Ganga Praharis were actively engaged in the rescue and rehabilitation of species, because at this time nobody else could come there. And they were living right on the river. So whenever they found any species in distress, entangled, coming on the shore, dead or alive, they made sure to report it to the right agency, and wherever possible to relocate them. And of course, there was some media coverage of their activities. And also at this time, as soon as the lockdown ended during May end and June, we wanted to get some genuine data from the field to understand the impact of lockdown on the water quality and sediments, to look at different chemicals present there and how the lockdown of 4 months had impacted it. How to collect this data? Because as I said, we could not go to those areas. So trainings for the Ganga Praharis were held, and from the entire range of the country, from 17 different sites, the Ganga Praharis collected the samples, and by road, right from Gaumukh to Ganga Sagar, these samples were collected, and by road they reached the institute located at Dehradun in intact condition. And right now this data is under analysis, advanced analysis, to identify the real impact of lockdown, because we have data from the pre-lockdown period. And of course, what was important, because they are volunteers, so the awards and appreciations they received, because they were working hand in hand with the district administration, because they are trained people. We have a database for them. So forest department, district agencies, anybody who needed people at this time, so they were available, and they were given a lot of appreciation, certificates and awards. In fact, our minister, Honorable Union Minister of Jal Shakti, Shri Gajendra Singh Shekhawat ji, was very skeptical that how this program is working. And he said, I want to have a one-to-one meeting with these people. And it was a moment of great pride to us when these people from these remotest village joined the Honorable Minister on the digital platform, and with a one-to-one meeting was held with him. It was a long meeting, and at the end of it, they received individual letters of appreciation from the Honorable Minister, which has again motivated them further to work more in this field. Then Nukkad Nataks, awareness movies in various languages, human chains, all sorts of possible means and ways. Corona pledges were held all over the Ganga basin. These activities were held. This was the time when people could not go there. But even now, more and more enhancement of these activities is taking place. And another offshoot of the Ganga Prahari program is the Bal Ganga Prahari program, where about 115 students schools are engaged with us. And here also, because most of the classes were being held online, we could approach the schools and the principals and sensitize children wherever possible to online platforms, and also through creation of awareness posters and material for them, which was distributed widely. So different species, animals, explaining to children made it very attractive for them, and these became very popular. And I must also mention that at this point, when a lot of children, the National Museum for Natural History also requested us for these awareness material, including short films, because they could not hold their regular summer training program for the children. And we have also supplemented this material, which is now on their website. So a range of activities which included awareness, food distribution, mask distribution, social distancing awareness norms, coordination with district administration, distribution of hand wash, which was made by them, distribution of gloves, sanitization of villages, preparation of sanitizers, and also in many cases, installation of the Arogya Setu app was done, and lot of stakeholders such as the forest agencies, the line departments, local clubs, youth, NGOs were also engaged, including college and school teachers and professors. And very important, the innovative aspects of this project was that it anyway, Ganga Prahari is a platform for stakeholder participation. And as I told you, we have different offshoots, Ganga Prahari Mentor, Bal Ganga Prahari, and Pravasi Ganga Praharis for people who live abroad. So through these, and these, most of them are digital platforms, except from the Ganga Prahari platform, all the other two and the Bal Ganga Prahari program, they are purely digital platforms. So we shared our efforts and initiatives through these platforms. Then the beauty of this whole effort is that it was purely voluntary, humanitarian, arising in the hearts of the poorest of the poor, not top down, but coming from them. And again, then when we realized that these people were losing their livelihoods, we started concentrating on developing of their livelihood skills, leading to enhanced incomes, benefiting about 500 women. And most of these trainings are those, we tried to give them training online and also offline, which people could use even during the pandemic time. For example, stitching, mask making, which which can be sold to different departments, preparation of healthy food, health and beauty, which they could use their own home products to create these products. And another thing which you must have also read in newspaper was the launch of the Ganga Dolphin Jalad Safari. So the fishermen who are engaged in fishing, etc., were trained in ecotourism, and in 8 locations along the Ganga River, the Ganga Dolphin River Safari was launched. So the exploiters have become protectors. The people who are actually fishing and sometimes poaching now are actually conserving these species, because they want to make sure that the tourist who comes actually sees the dolphin, actually sees the birds and the beautiful fish, etc. Then low-cost solutions, which emerged from locally made materials such as hand sanitizer, biodegradable masks, disinfectants, etc. A lot of educational workshops were held for school children whose education was disrupted due to the lockdown. When we realized that our Ganga Praharis were doing a lot of work and we could not reach these areas, even the government, the state forest agencies could not reach, we held online training workshops on rescue and rehabilitation with the help of experts in the field. Particularly, there are a lot of snake bite incidents in this region. And in fact, in this country, after rabies, snake bite is the biggest killer in human-wildlife conflict. So we held trainings for them in rescue and rehabilitation of particularly snakes. So the most important innovation, which was also appreciated by other leaders, was the emergence, was a mass movement. एक जन भागीदारी और एक जन आंदोलन का आगाज था. And we feel that this Jan Andolan is not limited to COVID. Now it has accelerated, and it just needs support, because now these people have realized their potential as leaders, and they realize, and the biggest thing is that in none of our volunteers and children have reported any case of COVID. Definitely it has been reported from those villages, but none of our people or their families have reported any case of COVID, touch wood, for now. So we feel that the benefits that have emerged is the mass awareness at the grassroots level. These initiatives have become self-sustaining because now they have become leaders and they have been recognized not only at their level, but at the highest level. Other stakeholders have become part of the initiatives and have recognized the potential of engaging these people and also enhancing their leadership abilities and skills. Then rescue and rehabilitation of aquatic and other wild species, which was not a priority at this time, but which definitely is a priority, was happening as usual. Business as usual was happening, and same was happening for the conservation and cleanliness of Ganga River and its tributaries. And as already I said, no cases were reported from our team. So the biggest innovation which I perceive here is that the solutions for the community came from the community and are now with them. They are capable of handling these situations with minimum support from us. I mean, when they are developing their masks, their sanitizer, their disinfectant, I think we are leading to developing their resilience, not only for COVID, but for any kind of disasters which may come in the future. And they are very confident that with some more support and some more skill enhancement, they will be able to do it at that level. Looking at the replicability of this whole effort, the concept of Ganga Prahari can be replicated by any institution. We are very open to sharing our experiences. We have online platforms, we have created films, and these Ganga Praharis, in fact, we envisage as a link between the local people and the various government and different initiatives. Ganga Praharis have been linked through mobile apps such as Bhuvan Ganga, MyGov, for creating a broader network even among them. We have created a Ganga Aqualife data collector app, which they are using for regular reporting. So we actually are upscaling this Ganga Prahari initiative at the basin level and for other rivers of the country. They continue these activities, and most important, sensitizing the children, the future, and creating a social movement and a critical mass of human resource capable of supporting the government initiatives at the grassroots level. Through all means, you can see one of our Ganga Prahari has written a poem on COVID and so on. So basically what we visualize is that the people there have become the change that they want to see in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would request to jury, is there any question?
Yeah, well, very nicely done, because this is the social link between the people and the government and initiatives are quite good. Now, you said you have developed a cadre of Ganga Praharis. Are they voluntary or paid?
Madam, they are totally voluntary. And madam, just give me 2 minutes to explain this concept. When we were given this project of biodiversity conservation and Ganga rejuvenation, there was a very important component of community engagement. So when we started going around, this was in 2017, when we started visiting the villages, we realized that it is a huge work. That's a tall task. How to engage the people?
So basically, yeah, okay. So I get it. So basically, this is the people who are voluntarily trying to do this.
Madam, no, it is a cadre. Yeah, they are volunteers. They are not getting paid for this job. But then we selected those people who are very active. And initially, we had 250 people. We trained them. When they went back, this cadre started expanding. Today, we have 1,500 people. We constantly, there is a capacity. The only investment is in their human resource development, which increases their.
Okay. I think it's, yeah.
Anybody who engages them pays them. We don't pay them for being a Ganga Prahari. It is their lifestyle, not their livelihood. But being a Ganga Prahari enables them to get better and better livelihoods.
Good.
Thank you.
Ma'am, would you like to tell me, big cities also are connected to Ganga?
Yes.
So what is mechanism so that this effluent or discharge of all cities are being controlled?
Sir, I must tell you that our mandate was basically to look at the biodiversity part, but inadvertently we have moved into the cleanliness and small nalas which were opening into the river, which our Ganga Praharis could do. In the big cities, sir, we have the Ganga Prahari Mentor Program, and we would request everybody on this platform to also join this program, because then every citizen of the country owns a responsibility for this. And sir, our honorable PSC is also the Ganga Prahari mentor. But for the big cities, we are only doing the awareness part. It is not our mandate, but the National Mission for Clean Ganga is actually doing a tremendous, commendable task of creating these SPs all over the country.
So you must also be connected with them.
Sir, this project is funded by them. We are, in fact, their knowledge partners, and we are the Ganga Prahari work we have initiated. And sir, for the first time, the Ganga river has been surveyed for biodiversity 5 times for Gomok to Ganga Sagar. It had never been done prior to this. It's a huge project, sir. I'm presenting a small part of it.
Okay.
Sir.
So, thank you very much. Excellent work done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.